3I/Atlas, defined as an interstellar object from beyond our galaxy. By Amma Grace Solaris. 3I/Atlas, defined as an interstellar object from beyond our galaxy, was discovered just a few months ago. It has caused much confusion, concern, and question marks in the heads of the scientists, astronomers, geophysicists, etc. as to its origin and makeup. It does not fit into any of their definitions and mathematical calculations. It acts differently, and its energy compound is different to anything ever witnessed. I was extremely excited when I first heard about 3I/Atlas and, of course, tuned into to receive telepathic downloads and information about it. At first, I didn't get much specifics, because I was told that it is beyond our comprehension. Alone, the words and concepts that we use will not be able to truly describe the magnitude of this most powerful interstellar object. However, during this first tuning in, I was profoundly touched by its energy signature. As its plasma was downloaded into my body, I just felt like melting away and went into a trance-like state, an extreme expansion. I accepted that I didn't need to know, but through feeling the dispensation of light bestowed upon me, I could nothing but surrender, and I felt an immense calm and stillness encompass me beyond time and space, and sort of sinked into a void of profound peace, as well as an ecstatic joy and kundalini rush. I mentioned what I had experienced to one of my mentorees, who was eager to receive this transmission and connect with 3I/Atlas. The impact that it had on her as well as myself was massive. A radical shift in energy, a quantum shift of great magnitude, which caused a profound shift in feeling of being untouchable of the external noise and chaos, and the collective anxiety that many sensitive and intuitive have felt. A shifting of the frequency band beyond the matrix bandwidth. Later, the transmission was shared with two others who felt equally radical quantum shifts on multiple levels of their being and perception of reality and ability to navigate with, and while being beyond the matrix in a brand new fashion. What was further shared to me from tuning into the divine intelligence collective of 3I/Atlas was that it has come into our galaxy as per divine decree to assist in the ascension to rattle up and break old structures and crack open our human heart to remember, to rise as phoenixes and free ourselves and raise our consciousness beyond the matrix and earth simulation construct, which indeed is nothing but a hologram that is so well made that most of humanity have accepted it as their reality. So as per divine decree, as a natural consequence and response to where the earth has brought itself at the edge of extinction and a total collapse in consciousness, hijacking of the human collective mind BC, of a hijacking of the soul and innocence of the children of God across the globe. Through the gene modification, mRNA corruption of the sacred DNA and robbing of your angelic essence, 3I/Atlas is here to stir up the waters and promote a mind-shattering quantum shift of this down-spiraling of consciousness as the divine potential for a full reverse is tangibly at hand, as so many have and are awakening because the polarity gap is relentlessly displaying the distortions and divine chaos that have caused so many to opening up to common sense and listen to their heart rather than following and obeying to the narrative and propaganda scheme set in place to lure humanity into obedience, fear, and hopelessness, and completely give their power away to the corrupt, tyrannical external powers who violate human rights, free speech, and the universal laws in the most inhuman ways beyond what most humans can even imagine. Thus, so many have gone into cognitive dissonance of complacency or fear. As I have been in continued connection with 3I/Atlas and have received and facilitated several one-on-one activations, it has become clear to me how important and groundbreaking this stellar intelligence is, and to what degree it will impact on everything, literally everything. Nothing will be untouched by its energy. It will indeed cause a lot of electromagnetic activity, which has already been seen as 2 major earthquakes have been triggered through its photonic light outbursts. Also, 2 stars, Sagittarius and Centaurus, have imploded in the track of its powerful plasma activity. That is how powerful its energy is. Go imagine what impact it will have as it comes closer to Earth, and what impact it will have on humanity. Its closest encounter with Earth will be on December 19th, 2025. So go figure what impact it will have on the consciousness of humanity, the planet, and the entire Milky Way. A stellar nova impact. A birthing of a new level of consciousness beyond what you can imagine. Simply because it will force you to move your consciousness beyond the I, beyond separation, and all known paradigms and constructs of duality of your reality, and igniting the remembrance of your galactic origin and true essence. A revelation, an impregnation of the symphony of creation itself. I have shared and facilitated a galactic transmission of this powerful plasma containing building blocks, keys, and codes, and sacred tones of creation, and was told that it is the very symphony of creation from the beginning of time, from what you could define as eternity codes, which is a 12-dimensional energy, which is beyond any labels. It is the all and the nothing, the cradle of creation itself. So I have been guided and encouraged to summon the galactic ground crew and starseeds to step into formation for this galactic transmission, to receive the galactic keys and codes, and being conduits and anchors for this momentous dispensation of light. Those of you who remember will already feel the connection, the remembrance, and familiar feeling of home echoing throughout your being, the ancient tones running through your veins, a familiar tune of comfort, peace, love, and unity. You are here as part of the galactic ground crew to funnel in and anchor 3 IE/Atlas creation signature into the grid as conduits and galactic anchors, which is part of your expertise. BTW, you are not required to participate in any transmission to receive or feel its energy, as it will impact you as it comes near and emits its plasma accompanied by solar winds and CMEs within the coming weeks and months. However, in this global group activation, we will summon to launch a powerful portal, and as pioneers of light, we will receive a download directly from 3I/Atlas into our group force field, which will magnify and amplify and act as a transducer and sacred container and an electrical socket to ignite our DNA in cells. The Arcturians will be facilitating a multi-ranged clearing and upgrading to assist your body in anchoring this most powerful 12th dimensional energy, which will also include an upgrading of the electrical circuitry of the brain, rewiring of the heart, upgrading of the endocrine system, meridians, and more. There will be 2 events, 2 transmissions, as this is required to avoid an overload of our nervous system and hypothalamus and to build up the energy magnitude gradually as not to cause any fuses to blow. This is an interstellar intelligence sent as a harbinger and solar flash, some actor to promote a tidal wave collapse of the old system, a collapse of the matrix, an ancient guardian sent by God as a gigantic body craft of light and galactic plasma divine intelligence craft, one that cannot be ignored, one that cannot be stopped and cannot be denied. Thus, 3I/Atlas is acting up and giving a show intentionally to stir up the rigid structures of the scientist community. Since some days it appeared that 3I/Atlas has split into 2. As I asked about this, I was picking up that this is done purposely to create question marks in the head of the scientists and for them to throw in the towel and admit that this is beyond their consciousness, this is beyond their knowledge, that this object cannot be deciphered by the measurements and mathematics of an analytically rational brain, as its existence is beyond the physics and the consciousness of this dimensional realm and galaxy. I was told that it can split itself up into myriads of parts and resample itself again, if it so chooses. The universal intelligence of this object is a galactic harbinger of a whole new era of science itself, which forces the astronomers and scientists to rethink and remap the universe and their consciousness, which again will force each and everyone to let go of any old belief structures and outlived fake paradigms, to embrace and rise ourselves into an era of universal intelligence big scale, and for all those that only believe in the material world to open up spiritually through this Stella Nova quantum shift. I am most grateful and honored to share this galactic transmission with those who are ready to rise beyond the norm, the known, and exit the mind prison simulation of separation from God. You are here to rise beyond the impossible to I am possible, eternal life and divine unity with all life in sacred embrace with the Christed One, I am that I am. To enter the eternal time-space continuum in the sacred cradle womb of creation. To spiral and dance beyond the illusionary world karmic wheel entrapment delusion for good. If you feel called to join us, read below to get all the info about signing up and how to prepare. Calling the galactic ground crew, the star elders, pioneers of light. You know who you are. You are at the forefront of this galactic evolution, assisting in giving birth to a star. Beloved Gaia's transition from a planet ascending into her stardom. Becoming a star holding the divine blueprint of Christ consciousness. The rise of the Christed One en masse. You have come a long way, and this you know in your heart beyond doubt. You know that you have no beginning and no end. You are galactic wisdom, star intelligence in human form. You are the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. You are in the inner knowing that all is connected into one field of divine intelligence, that which in your reality is expressed into the concept of God. However, the children of God that once inhabited the earth, those that carried the angelic codes, the symphony of creation, were taken advantage of in their divine innocence and infiltrated by forces that were not in favor of how creation went, but were hungry for power, light, as they had lost connection to the source origin of all that is. Well, that was out of choice to explore the dark, and they got trapped in their own greed for power. Thus they started to infiltrate and exploit the earth and the children of God as a means to regain eternal life, in their ignorance not realizing that God is eternal, and all that is born of this light is and cannot be less than eternal. Through tampering of the DNA of humanity, they caused massive distortions into the consciousness of the minds of humanity through programming and meticulous manipulation and mind control. These beings have been in control of the planet and have infiltrated all levels of society, including the governments across the globe. However, as the planet has moved deeper into the photon belt, the awakening of humanity has accelerated to the point of quantum mass tipping point of a collective awakening. Humanity has reached a crossing or tipping point of make it or break it. Those who live in coherence with their higher self and heart's inner knowing are well aware and in divine faith that everything is in the hands of God. That bottom line, everything serves a higher purpose seen from the higher perspective of the soul. So much, however, which happens upon the surface of the earth and world stage is horrendous as the universal laws has been violated to the maximum. Humanity are very close at losing its humanity, compassion, love, and common reason. That divine intervention is required to wake up humanity. This is required to save this planet from being ruined by the spiritual decline that has been caused through thousands of years of mind control, with the aim of creating divine disorder, to spread fear and division as a means of control. However, you are not forgotten nor forsaken. Your galactic family and angelic hosts are at your side to assist you in restoring divine order and free the planet from its controllers once and for all.